This is Selma Schimmel, and you are looking live at the great city of Chicago, which is once again playing host to the American Society of Clinical Oncology, ASCO. This is ASCO's 49th annual meeting, and this year's theme could not be more appropriate: Building Bridges to Conquer Cancer. More than 30,000 of the world's foremost cancer specialists are here, and so is our Advocacy in Action feature, making our 15th appearance at ASCO and one of our very best. Vital Options is involved in a collaborative effort with ASCO and C-Change to develop the tools and the education both for physicians and for the general public and patients to put a new face to palliative care. And if I'm really blessed, having done my work now for 30 years, starting out as a young adult in my 20s with breast cancer, if I'm going to go down from ovarian cancer as a grown-up woman, then if I can help put a face to palliative care, because this is what palliative care looks like. I look pretty good, but I'm a palliative care patient. So if I can help show that you can be in active treatment, you can deal with pain management, and you can be functional, then maybe God left me one last mission in my life to do, and it's a privilege for me. And I never thought this was going to be my journey. I did not think in the end I'd die of cancer because I survived breast cancer for 30 years. But I am going to die. And it may be this year, and it may be next year, it may be 2 years. But the rest of my life is going to be dedicated to this effort.
This fear of people dying is so prevalent. I mean, my children lived through my husband dying, and we cared for him at home. And now sometimes I'll say to them, they're older, and I'll say, oh, when I die, I want you to play this song at my memorial. And they'll go, oh, Mom, you ruined that song. They just can't sort of get their arms around, no, it's a gift that you're going to know exactly what I want. And I can say that to them. But if even in your own family and in a household where they've already lived through this, it's still so hard to make it okay.
You'll appreciate this. Because all kinds of questions are coming to me at this point in my life. So I didn't plan to start a kind of book club, but it's funny. I've got all of my close friends are reading Proof of Heaven by Dr. Eben Alexander, who's a neurosurgeon from Harvard, who, there's no time to tell you about it, but it was interesting because inadvertently what happened was I created the opportunity to find common ground of something, because we're having soul discussions. So by creating this common ground, and I keep thinking, well, when I'm not here, when their time comes, they're going to remember this. And again, it's like sort of connecting the dots, just like choosing your music, and they may not know it now, but yeah, what a great gift.
And somehow we have to get that message out, that telling people enough so that they get to close with people, knowing they're going to die, is a gift, and that it's our responsibility as healthcare providers across the board to offer that, because we're the ones who know.
But we also need the help as a group.
That's right. Yes, we do.
A lot of healthcare providers, as we know, are not comfortable with that discussion. I'm the flip side. I was married 3 months, and I said to my husband, where do you want your funeral? And he goes, I'm perfectly healthy right now. Why? And I said, because now I'm married to you, and I'd be the one making that decision, and I have no idea what you'd want. But that's, the other extreme to the others is, but how do we get our own profession talking about these things which you're doing today and leading it? And but I think that we underestimate how uncomfortable professionals are talking about that part.
Well, just hearing that so many of my partners didn't have advanced directives, then I looked around the room and I could see, oh yeah, you never refer to palliative care, you never use hospice, because they're terrified. Mm-hmm. So they're so afraid for themselves, they can't offer it. And so I think you're right, we need to make it part of the conversation across our society.
I think a real challenge is that at this time, while palliative care, as you say, Dr. Van Roenn, is moving forward, at the same time our society is starting to question healthcare costs and to say, where can we sustain this trajectory supposedly that we're on? So then average people who are not involved in politics start to say, is this an attempt to cut back treatment and say, you know what, you've got this terrible diagnosis, just accept you're going to die, we'll give you some pain along the way. I mean, this is totally wrong to connect these two things. And that's why it's very important that someone like Selma, who's speaking about her experience, and whatever we who are connected with organizations can do to help patients, we must continue to do this so that we don't have those two disconnected, because they're not connected together.
I totally agree.
In closing, because we have to bring the session to an end and start the lung panel, but on behalf of ASCO, what can we do? What do you need from us, the advocate community, patient community? What can we do to help you in your work?
I think it's what you're doing. I think it's trying to get people to see that these are issues people want to talk about, and that people, I don't think there's any patient with cancer who hasn't thought about dying. And so we need to make it okay to talk about it, and to talk about that they're afraid of pain and what it means, even if they're doing well, that we address the issues and make it okay. Thank you.
Dr. Jamie Van Roen, thank you so much. Shirley Woods, Linda House, Helen Miller from Cancer Care. Thank you all